So then we have testing for the environment, the dust testing, Envirobiomics. When you do Actino testing, you have two reports that should be included. You're going to have a report that gives you sort of a general breakdown of what is it that they're finding, and it's going to include this Actino Score Summary. So that's one report. And already just looking at this, you can start getting a sense of where you're sitting with this report, with the dust testing. If these scores, the Actino water damage scores and Actino human pathogen scores, are in the fourth quartile, it sort of indicates that the environment is likely not safe. This may or may not be correlated with water damage. You might also sometimes have those elevated Q4s, even if there's no active water intrusion issues. It doesn't necessarily indicate that remediation is necessary. All it really suggests is that this may not be a safe environment as things stand. The good thing about, Actinos, if this is the only problem that you're dealing with, is that these numbers are relatively or reasonably malleable with cleaning protocols, which we'll touch in depth in the next workshop. So that's the good thing about it. And as a rule of thumb, you can get more detailed, but what we want is to move outside of the Q4. When you start moving out of this, things start to become more CIRS friendly. Obviously, you would want this in Q1, but sometimes all you need is a Q3 or Q2, and then make sure that certain species are under control to see some progress with treatment, to see some moving forward. And that's me sort of saying this in the real world type of situation. In a very ideal world, we want these numbers to be Q1, but the reality is, very often, you tend to see numbers hovering between Q2 and Q4, more realistically speaking. So, not having a Q1 doesn't mean that you can't do the treatment in that environment. That's what I'm trying to say, essentially. But you do want to move away from here. That's kind of a goal with the cleaning regimens that we're doing.